Welcome, everybody. Welcome, all you Drangir and Shield Maidens. Uh, this is this week's episode. I got a lot to talk about. I got a lot to discuss, but all I can say is April is going to be huge for me. I got so much going on in April, so we got a lot to talk about. So we're just going to get into it. But first thing, what I want to do is go ahead and watch. It was last week's, last Saturday's match at League of Lions with the League of Lions in Marshall. It was their Out of Luck show. I participated in a fatal four-way. Come to find out, it was for the number one contendership for the League of Lions title. So we'll, talk about that match coming up next month. But right now, I, just want to get into this, watching this match so we can get into talking about all the other things. I've got 3 big matches coming up in April, and then I'm going to have to take a little time off. So we'll talk about that in a minute. First, what I'd like to do is go ahead and, start watching this. So, like I said, this was on the 21st of March, and just last Saturday. And we'll get into it.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Fatal four-way action. Just moments away to determine the number one contender for the League of Lions Championship at the Wrestling Classic next month.
Never have my hands free open.
And Warhammer, summoning the power of his ancient ancestors, performing a dark ritual backstage.
I really like it. It's
focused.
Only good for.
He is ready, and he is about
times. It's certainly not
to go to war.
Always
fired up.
No, I wasn't even booked in this match. Ended up being a win, but that's kind of why everything worked out in my favor. Jax, what's up, buddy? Send me a message, or have your mother send me a message.
And this is my boy right here, the entertainment, Eli Daniels.
We got stuff going on tonight, but
coming out here with high energy, looking to make his
interview done with you.
Rookie year topped off
put it out
with
later.
a possible League of Lions championship match.
But whenever I can, Jax, I want to interview you.
Apologize, I was just corrected. It is not his rookie year. It's his year 2. Either way, a huge opportunity.
Now, Sean Cordova debuting Trunks.
And here comes League of Lions' newest villain, Sean Cordova.
I'm surprised he even has the shame or I can't even believe he has the audacity to show his face after what he did to his own son last month. Kicking him where the sun don't shine.
Absolutely. And he probably made so many enemies in the locker room after that.
Yeah. And how awkward was the dinner table must have been.
Oh, absolutely.
Over the last month. Oh, yeah, we see you.
He's a monster.
We're once again seeing Matthew DeLuna make his way out here, this time in tow with music. But Sean Cordova getting in the face of his, I guess now former teammate
No, I will say
in
we
Eli Daniels,
didn't have a whole lot of
as big man
whole lot of
Matthew
stuff.
DeLuna, the dean of the
Yes,
University.
yes, he's
I'm going to say it one time.
one of our larger
Even though I don't agree with his tactics,
He's a good
it's
kid.
a catchy catchphrase.
You know, I was kind of wondering how this was going to work out with Sean Cordova and Eli Daniels, former tag partners.
Yeah, you gotta know that there's heat there. You gotta be looking to avenge Eli Chambers in some way, shape, or form. But
Absolutely, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, we had
ultimately,
the-
that's not what's
This
important.
planned out. I thought this was kind of genius.
What's important here is that this is a number one contender shot. Somebody in there has the chance to put their name in the
Being in
history
Showry.
books.
Sean Cordova mocking Unity.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh,
He just laid out the veteran,
Eli wasn't having any of that.
and now
Yeah, I
DeLuna and
I-
Warhammer
um,
making quick work.
asked Jack
Of
Smith
Eli
if I
Daniels.
want to interview him soon, so we can do an interview podcast.
Oh!
Just sandwiching Eli.
And Warhammer thought that was funny. You don't get a lot of expression out of Warhammer, but that was amusing to him. And now we have two different fights going on, one outside of the ring, one in the ring. Got Daniels and Cordova, Warhammer, and
big
DeLuna.
splash.
I always love giving these splashes.
Oh my
I do
goodness.
not- I
Big
don't
body splash.
hold
That
back.
makes
I don't
dose
pull
by
touch
Warhammer,
back. Now he should have been
Cordova
up for this.
putting
this
Daniels
early
back in the
on,
ring.
but
Oh!
I'm gonna use him.
Innovative
as a
offense
weapon.
by Warhammer, using Daniels as a weapon
Yeah, here.
against
I'm supposed
DeLuna.
to attack.
Oh,
until
What a
he-
drop kick.
Cordova taking out Eli and Warhammer.
Not quite a 2 count. I don't think that one was.
I do want to thank everybody that is
DeLuna
watching.
Making sure that one didn't go
Welcome
to
the
3.
show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh, big club and forearm to the back
No, I
of
do.
Cordova.
Cordova has more experience than the 3 other competitors. put
Ultimately,
together. In total
the
number
referee
of
can't count both. I
years
think this
wrestling.
would be a no disqualification
I'm not sure how many
situation.
Cordova's got, but
Oh,
all three of us
lighting
together.
up the
And-
chest of Eli Daniels. Big shot by Matthew DeLuna. And
Everybody just taking their turn with Eli.
oh!
Great shot.
Eli fighting back.
great shot.
Daniel said,
know
"I am not a
threaded him,
buffet.
and,
You
you
know,
know,
it's gonna
after
get a
that
piece of
gunshot,
me."
I knew it was coming. So here we are, just letting it happen.
Oh,
Great job.
man!
And I knew it's coming for me.
That was nasty.
Daniels making sure DeLuna felt that one all the way at the Luniversity. And muscling the big man up to his feet, just barely. Oh my God!
Another slap.
Oh,
I
that
know that
knocked
was
the
kinda
big
weak.
man
I
off
wasn't
his
really
feet, did
expecting it. He didn't know
Warhammer.
what to do, but
Oh,
I wanted him to get
kick to the gut.
last chop in.
and into the turnbuckle
all
and
three
a
of us
chop
needed
of
it.
his own.
Now he should have posed. Should have posed
Eli
right
said,
here.
"Come on, everybody's
Or
rolling out of the
crowd
ring. They're
something,
done
but-
with these slaps."
You know,
Daniels
fine.
just single-handedly took
Here I
out
am
everybody
working
in
the
the
crowd.
match.
I'm actually
Could this
working
be
the
a foreshadowing
8-year-old
scenario
girl,
for the
giving her
young
grief.
Eli
She was
Daniels?
calling me a loser, calling me baldy.
Now Eli out of the ring, taking it to Cordova.
Cordova
So this is
reversing that one
Whoa.
and driving the head of Daniels into that turnbuckle post. Warhammer pulling the hair of Daniels Oh, and another triple team effort. Oh my gosh.
Yes, this next weekend is going to be kind of crazy.
Oh! Vertical suplex by Warhammer.
And a cover by Cordova.
And Warhammer said no.
That was my cover. That was my suplex.
And Daniels rather kicking out of that one.
I actually haven't looked at the calendar, so
And Warhammer pushing down the big man. These two men jockeying for position here is Warhammer and the Entertainment. A swinging neck breaker by Warhammer.
I like chops. I like chop.
And a near fall.
Poke chops.
The young Eli
Listen
Daniels
up.
getting a shoulder off the mat before the 3 count. And Daniels getting some of everybody right here.
Attacking everybody, going to each corner.
That's the idea.
No, throwing Cordova into De Luna.
Big double body splash. And a bulldog.
It should have been a double bulldog, and he missed that kick.
And another bulldog.
Here comes De Luna.
Oh, big drop kick.
At least De Luna knew he had to take something. Waterfall.
Cordova breaking things up. Now Eli breaking things up.
Supernova calling for the pile driver.
Oh, big back body drop
Nice
by
counter
Eli.
by Eli Daniels. And the dean of the University
I still have
breaking up that cover.
from this.
He knows what's at stake here. All personal
Very
feelings aside,
little
from
tiny
some of the
green.
people in this match,
They're still
Big body slam by
what's
De
at
Luna.
stake here is a League of Lions title shot. Oh! Sean Cordova going low on Matthew De Luna, taking him off of his feet. Oh! And a drive-by knee by Sean Cordova. Oh my God! Huge 450 splash! And then he just hit the snapshot, and I believe he's going for it again.
Oh, and a miss.
Daniels just hit the perfect idea. That's it. 1, 2. Oh my God! Cordova just kicked out.
Oh, a spear by Warhammer.
one of my strongest roars.
Oh!
Very dirty family carry.
Odin's curse!
Now I'm back to
And a
Dallas.
big freak out! Warhammer has just walked away your number one contender for the League of Lions Championship!
Yes, it was a very good crowd. We usually have a big crowd in Martin. So we're gonna remove that. We're gonna stop sharing. We're gonna close that. All right. Yeah, I like that size a little bit better. So that was my match. Like I said, I really wasn't even booked until Thursday, 2 days before. Didn't even know it was a number one contendership. Didn't even know I was winning until then. So you're pretty much surprised as I was. But like I said, that puts me in the number one contendership for the League of Lions championship. That match will be against Keelix Sunrise on April 11th. But we're going to start off with April 4th in Orange, Texas, with Sadistic Wrestling Federation's Buffet of Buffoons, League of Lions, or Sons of Plunder. So many names, I apologize. Sons of Plunder will be there defending our tag team titles. I'm not sure who our opponents will be, but, doesn't really matter. Sons of Plunder come to kick ass and take names, and, we don't intend on losing those belts. Then April 11th will be League of Lions Wrestling Classic 10. It may be 11. I'll get those numbers. I forget. But that's going to be the League of Lions number one championship match. Psycho, King Violent, and the Mountain versus you and Iron Belly in a 2 versus 3 handicap match. Okay. So, like my buddy Jax, sorry, there was something in my carpet. Like my buddy Jax has explained, April 4th, the Sons of Plunder versus the Alehouse Tragedy and the Mountain in a handicap match. Like I said, it doesn't matter. We're coming home with these belts. So we just have 3 victims. We're going to climb the mountain. We're going to destroy the mountain. We're going to crumble the mountain, and we're going to make a dirt road straight through that mountain. And we're going to show the Alehouse Tragedy what true drinkers really can bring to the table in a fight. So again, that's April 4th in Orange, Texas, League of Lions on 11th. And then I will be in Silsbee, Texas with Exist to Inspire. I think it's still the Vision. I don't know if they've renamed it, but this will be their second show, and it will be Sons of Plunder as well. That will be April 18th. So 4th, the 11th, and the 18th. That's 3 big weeks of wrestling. Yeah, he knows more what's going on than the people actually involved. So one that shows his dedication, 2 that shows he's paying attention to his favorite wrestlers. So props to him. Thank you, Jax, for keeping everybody on track. So Miss Shaw Marie, you got a great kid. So that's all I've got wrestling 4th, 11th, and 18th, and those are all big dates. The last big date I have is April 22nd, and we'll just break this out. I will be having surgery. So it's not a major surgery, but it is for my nose. I will be having septoplasty and turbinoplasty, something like that. So I went and saw the ear, nose, and throat doctor that was recommended to me, and they took a camera on a little stick and shot it back in one of my nostrils. I thought he was scratching the back of my skull with it. Once he got to my opposite nostril, he pretty much said immediately it was 100% deviation. So it's not really saying anything I didn't already know. I didn't know it was 100%, but with the collapsed nostril and the deviated septum, it's breathing through a straw, and that's on the good day. So I will be having surgery on the 22nd. Not sure if I'll be awake enough to do a podcast on Sunday, but I'm going to try to get some interviews done in between so I can at least have, if I'm conscious enough, I will put out a pre-recorded podcast, an interview or something. That way I can at least do something. I will have stents in my nose for a week. I pretty much will not be able to talk correctly. I will be medicated. Not my first surgery, but anytime you go under, it's not good. Fun fact, they don't actually know where you go under anesthesia. They just know you're not there. They don't know how it works. They just know it works. So every time you get there, it's a potential of bad things happening. I'm not worried. Everything's good. It's funny. They're telling me it's going to be, 2 to 3 weeks of discomfort of being unable to breathe and that much. And the only thing I can think of, it's what they've told me is it's only 2 more weeks of being unable to breathe. I've got a limited time of having issues now, and that is an amazing feeling. I will no longer need the intake breathe strips. I won't be using the Breathe Right nasal strips anymore, sparingly, I guess, but this right here is going to change so much. I know it's going to change the bags in my eyes. It's going to change my face. It's going to change how I wrestle. It's going to change how I am able to work out. It's going to change how I'm able to sleep. This one thing alone is a life-changing thing. The doctors asked me how long I've been unable to breathe, and I could only roughly say 30 years or more. And that's an sad understatement, underestimate, excuse me. That's, as soon as, he looked at my nose, it was pretty much, surgery. It's one covered under insurance because of quality of life. It's something that you need to be able to breathe. The fact that I can't breathe, to me, is traumatic. I'm tired. I'm tired of gassing out in the ring. I'm tired of a 10-minute match, 15-minute match, and I've got to go to the back and hyperventilate. I didn't do anything that big, but you saw that match. I was huffing and puffing for a long time afterwards. Even now, I can't breathe through my nose because I've been talking so much. So I have to decide how to breathe. I anybody that can't breathe, you need to go see somebody. I've been putting this off far too long. I'm going to be down a week at least out of work. I've got sick time. I've got vacation. I've got all this built up. So I'm not out of work, but I will be not at work while I recover. They said it's about 4 to 6 weeks usually. I've always been a fast healer, even for all the trauma that has befallen upon me. Certain doctors have felt odd and shocked that I am able to bounce back. Several people are amazed at my healing capabilities. I sleep everything off and wake up better. So it's just one of those things. Uh, so sorry about that. I was at work all weekend. Yesterday, this morning was the first time I was actually get some good sleep. Was able to wake up with my alarm, not hours before my alarm. So we'll be talking more about stuff as it comes. Again, April 4th, April 11th, April 18th. I will say this now, April 11th, that is my birthday. So I'll be talking about a couple other things. We'll see how it goes, but I'll be wrestling for my birthday, and that's what I want. Got one of my buddies that I'll be wrestling for my birthday. Love working him. I've worked him multiple times in Marshall, outside of Marshall. Doesn't really matter. We're going to make it hot. So we'll talk more about that next week. And chops on the 11th. I've already gotten my chops, but sure, if y'all want to do it, it'll either be 4th or the 4th or the 18th. So the 11th is in Marshall, but if y'all want to give them out, I'll take them. I'm not afraid. Maybe one of these days I'll show you my chop video on this, just to show that I'm not I'm not going to run from these chops. I'm not sure what what surgery asthmas can be cured by, but if it's structural and things like that. See this, I was broken in a fight. So that's actually, it's somebody's knuckle, right like that, and then of course it's shoved this way. So seasonal, yeah. Due to my nose being this way, I have seasonal allergies, but I've not really had a problem now that I've got that air intake thing. It's just been blasting air through it, and haven't really noticed a problem. But I cannot wait for, basically it's April 29th when the stents get removed, and then breathing will get so much easier after that date. So fingers crossed. We'll talk about all this more as it comes up, but trying to do certain things. Is he going to do it? Oh, boo. Man. See, this was all working just a minute ago before I started talking, and now it doesn't work. I was trying to have some little background music, and now it's not working. I'm trying to make this fancier, trying to do what I can. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week, and we'll talk about more stuff, bigger stuff, and maybe I'll figure out how this works one day. All right, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in next week. Be sure to hammer that like button, share this with your friends.